thank you. If you knew how happy we were to see your faces. We weren't sure anybody would show up. What we're doing is somewhat spontaneous, but we chose to do it anyway, and we feel and look defeated. My name is Charles Ford. I'm part of the kind of kicking this thing out with Bill Ellis. He's over there taking pictures. So he don't need to get me, he needs to turn around and get you guys. I'll do something just for spontaneous. Anybody here seen my old friend Martin? Can you tell me where he's gone? He knew a lot of people, but the world surely died young. We just know we looked around and he was gone. Thank you. There's a young man with some music behind you. He's going to play for us a number. And any of you out there that want to say something, we welcome you to come up and feel free to do it. Let loose. This is a day that we can all let loose. They'll let loose, cut loose. Back in Washington, D.C., yesterday, today, and tomorrow. So we're cutting loose here in Portland, Oregon, and we're going to cut loose in just a few minutes. Watch us. I told you who I was. My name is Charles Ford, and while we're doing this in memory of Dr. King, of course, this is his birthday designee. His birthday is actually the 15th of this month. Dr. King was born the 15th of January in 1929. I was born December 29th, 1929, the same year. He's a lot older than I am, of course. So it's always been very close to my heart on this day, whenever we celebrate it. I'm celebrating my birthday along with his. He did so much for us as people. I looked around and hear what I heard a minute ago, this song that was sung. If this was all black, we'd be singing old gospel hymn. Have nothing with it, I love it. But different cultures, we do different things, and we would appreciate it just as much as anything else. When I said a minute ago, I was born the same year Dr. King was. We who are here gathered, most of you are so much younger than I. If I had the time to tell you some of the stories, it would curl your hair, those of you who have straight hair. They were unbelievable. When we look back in time, we think we've made a lot of progress, and God knows I'm standing here to tell you we have made tremendous progress. We didn't move nowhere until this man known as Martin Luther King came on the scene. We were sitting back waiting for that leadership which we never had before. And it didn't come easy, as you well know, you read in memory. Nothing came easy for him or us, and it was a fight. I had left Mississippi, where I was born, in 1951, and the movement started, I think, in 1953, 54, somewhere in that range. So I hadn't been here too long, and not long enough to organize anything, but I found shortly thereafter, we need to be as organized in Portland, Oregon, as we were in Mississippi, where I came from. Conditions were hard. They weren't quite as hard, but they were hard. There was a lot of racial hatred in here in Oregon at the time, and still is, like it was in Mississippi. You don't have to look too far to find it. So when I stand here and tell you we've come a long way, please believe me, we have come a long way, and we still got a long way to go. That's the reason why you find 79-year-old men like me still on the firing line. My hope is not to fire anybody up extremely, but is to encourage you. There's a job to do out there. We need you. What we have done for, what we died for, that's why we're here today. The job must go on. We can't become complacent. So think about what you can do. Think about what is happening today. Think about where do we go from here. Tomorrow is the biggest day in my life. And a lot of people like me and like you who are across this nation recognize that this is a moment when none of us expected it to happen at this time, so frequently in my lifetime. But it is happening, and nothing can stop it because that's the way it is. What this gentleman is going to do is give us that leadership we've been missing, I hope. That's the start. I hope it will encourage us to get off our duff and look back and remember what I have encouraged you to, who are young people that I've talked to. Organize, get busy, do something. I was telling Bill earlier, yesterday I was sitting watching television and I heard a young man state he's busy back in the Midwest. And he said, we're going to surprise you. Young man, I said, 40 days after Martin Luther King is inaugurated, we are going to call for, it's already out, a mass meeting of young people. Get on your computer, find out where that is, get with it, see what you can do in Portland, Oregon, see if you can organize what it is they're planning to do. That's, to me, is extremely encouraging. That's what we want. That's what we want to hear. What it is you're planning to do. I opened up a minute ago and I was driving down here, and that song I loved. I remember when it was introduced to us. Martin Luther King, where did he go? John Kennedy, where did he go? He was here. They all were here. They left a legacy. They left something for us to hang on to. We can never forget those three men, their life and what it meant to us, and still means today. Obama is the new kid on the block. I'm certainly not calling him a kid. He's a new thrust for all of us. That we thought we were dead, the movement was dead. It's not dead. It's been taking a break. And you are going to help me and all the rest of us to reunite it. Thank you. I'll turn the microphone over to whoever wants to say something. I kind of warmed you up, didn't I? I know you're ready to go, so come on up.
Porter and I were just talking at the Overlook restaurant where a replica of the statue of Martin Luther King is sitting in the center dining area, and I feel like I met you like under some pretty weird circumstances. I kind of found out by chance mostly that you had worked on the Independent Police Review Board, and it just brought up a lot of thoughts. Like, a man who helped dedicate a Martin Luther King statue is sitting on the Independent Police Review Board. Made me think about what were some of the most passionate feelings that MLK was pushing on to America, whether they wanted it or not. And I guess for me, I feel like it was fighting war and not labeling himself as anti-war or not labeling himself as just pro-peace. He had so much depth thinking about it. He had a lot of assistance too, like reading about him and reading his letters to other leaders in the South at when he was arrested in Birmingham, Alabama. The letters to the Birmingham jail. He was saying a lot of really, really passionate, radical things that he wanted to push on America, and that's there's a resistance in that. I think I found like meaning in. I could follow that flag, Mr. Ford, of Martin Luther King, and I'm just very proud to have met you. And you're not going anywhere, and you taught me a lot, and I love you, and I know where you eat, and I know where to find you, and I'll bring some money, buy you coffee.